So I've been awake all night. I didn't feel like sleeping last night. I was just sitting up, I was on my computer, I was watching vlogs, I was editing my vlog, and I was just searching for more inspiration and different things to create something for today. So in order to fix why I'm so tired, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna run 10 miles. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, wow. I did not get 10 miles like I said I was going to get, but I got 7. I started getting really gassed out, so I just kind of walked the last mile, but either way, it's good. So right here you can see I got just below 7 miles. My time's not so great. I got 1 hour and 13 minutes, and it says I burned 1,000 something calories. So, hell yeah. So I'm going to get ready and I'm going to show you guys what this vlog is really about. I'm ready, but I think some tea would be good before I start this. Okay, so if you guys are watching now, you probably noticed the title down there and what it says. That's right, down, right, it. Okay, yeah, that's right. How to not give a shit. You heard me. How to not give a shit. Now, when I say I don't necessarily mean I don't care about anything, but whenever I say that, I don't mean it in a sense that if my friend were walking down the street and they got hit by the ice cream truck, I'm not gonna care. No, it's not like that. What I mean is that whenever somebody spreads hate or negative energy or just anything bad, slurs, bad remarks, anything like that, how to have it just go in one ear and out the other. I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy. It's not a task that you can just do. It's something you have to actually learn. But I'm going to explain how I personally was kind of, how would I say, awoken to this idea of not to care about other people's opinions. So that is what this video is about. The way I see it in life, there are 2 ways this can happen to you. I think, me personally, I had both of these kind of happen to me. Number 1, growing up. Once you get older, you start to realize who your real friends are and who is not, obviously. You see who sticks around and you see who goes. And once that starts to happen, you really start to take in whose opinions matter and whose really don't. You start to take on more responsibility as an adult. It sort of just becomes, it's just you. When you're younger, it's almost like you do everything in life as a group. And everything revolves around what's coming next and who you're going to be doing that with. Instead of, versus when you're older, now it's just kind of, you know, I'm on my own. You might have a partner or a roommate or something that is along for the ride, but really it comes down to being just you. And then that's when you start to think that you gain this idea, hopefully, that the only person's opinion that matters is yours and other people's that have positive things to say. And it's complicated when you think about it, when you say how to not give a shit. But whenever it comes to positive and negative, basically it's just saying throw the negative out the door where it came from. In and out, it doesn't matter. Number 2. Now, this is the big one for me. Number two, I believe, is whenever life literally comes out of nowhere and smacks you in the face with the reality so hard, you don't even know what to think about anything. It started to happen whenever I was 13 or 14 years old. I was homeschooled almost my entire life, and I was going back to school. Good times. I got back, I was so eager to meet new people and make friends since I was so alienated from society and the norm of being surrounded by people your age whenever you're in that stage of your life and in school and things like that. Public schools or private schools or anything like that. But I was homeschooled, so I was not used to this idea whatsoever. Downside is I came in happy-go-lucky and positive, and everybody was just kind of rude. I was unfortunately bullied. I was teased and pretty much tormented from 8th grade all the way up to mid-sophomore year, probably. After sophomore year, I started to adapt this idea more in the lines of I was kind of standing up for myself in the way that I was changing myself. I was making myself stronger, and I started like lifting weights, and that's where I found a passion for fitness. And with that came, you know, like a body change, and I was taller than everybody, stronger almost than everybody. And with that, everybody kind of left me alone. And that was a start of not caring about other people's opinions. And the next stage was, I'm going to fast forward a little bit more. It was after I graduated and I got my first job. At this time, I was really into weightlifting. I was really into fitness. It was just my go-to goal to become a personal trainer, really helping people. And I was good at it. I was really good at it. It was a major part of my life, major. But some downsides happened. With my job, it was really, really hard on my back, and it took a major toll on it. I ended up in the chiropractor, physical therapy for at least a year, at the least a year. And I finished out with like an extra 3 months probably of physical therapy. And this is when the chiropractors told me that I had arthritis in my back and that it was probably best for me to not be a bodybuilder anymore. Let me tell you, that hit home because that was something major. That was my passion. I literally felt lost whenever I found out that I did not really have the capability to work out like I used to. And for a while I was lost. It was a really dark time, but then I sort of found myself getting back into my roots. I was not able to exercise like I used to, but I got a new job. Things were starting to look up. I was trying to become state trooper for the Ohio State Highway Patrol. Things started to take a dark turn. It's unfortunate because things were actually going so well. I mean, I was scoring high on the tests and everything. My job wasn't bad. I liked what I did, but the hours were crazy. Things were picking up. But that is when I had to go back for an evaluation on my back. They did x-rays. And on x-rays, they actually found something in my hip that was very scary. With this finding in my hip, they said I had a mass that was almost 4 inches in size inside of my hip. So I was already freaking out, but then they told me that they diagnosed it as a lytic lesion. Usually in their terms is diagnosed as a metastatic tumor, which means I could have had the possibility of having cancer and it could have been completely incurable. But they weren't sure because they didn't know what it was exactly, but that's what they were kind of guessing. They weren't saying it right out like, you know, this is what it is, but they diagnosed it as a lytic lesion. So I have to sit around for months as they're giving me CT scans, MRIs, blood tests, and everything. All this is happening. I get rejected by the State Highway Patrol, and they tell me they want to do a biopsy on my hip. They tell me they don't want to do a biopsy on my hip. At this point, my life is literally in shambles. The career that I thought I was going to have, was out the window. I was sitting around going to bed every night, and put yourself in this mindset that you don't know if you have a terminal disease, and you're reflecting on your entire life thinking, did I do enough? And I was thinking to myself, I didn't. It's like I was incredibly unhappy. I wasn't so much as scared to know that, I could possibly die, as I was as scared that I didn't really live to my expectations. I was going to bed every night practically just counting down the days. It's like, what if I have like 6 months to live? What if I have like 2 years if I'm lucky? What if I'm okay? What if I'm not? This is all going through my head every single day for months, and it just got so crazy. Working so many hours at my job, and I was working sometimes 17 straight days. With that, I got so overwhelmed. I developed an anxiety disorder. With that, one day I was in work, and it just got so bad that I nearly passed out, hyperventilating, and they had to call an ambulance and take me to the hospital. Absolutely crazy. And what's crazier is that after that happened, I was threatened that I was going to get fired from work over a mistake that wasn't even really my fault. It was a client's that I was working with, their fault, and I was getting blamed for it. And I was like, I'm done. Right there's what did it for me. I was like, I'm done. I'm doing whatever I want from here on out. That is it. It's like, after this, that is it. I went into work after the doctor recommended that I take 2 days off, and I immediately filed out my 2 weeks notice. I was gone, hanging out at home, doing whatever I wanted. I was online and just looking up plane tickets. I was going to California. I met someone there that is just incredibly important to me, just one of my best friends ever. And I got back and I went to a concert, skydiving, and it's just been so great. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to keep doing what I want to do. And I thought about my past, my passion for photography and small filmmaking and stuff, and I never really got into actually doing it. So I started vlogging now, and here I am every day. It's what I'm gonna do. And I have so many big plans. So many big plans I can't even fathom. I can't even fathom it. But I'm gonna sink my all into this. I really am. So I got maybe a little off topic there, but all that combined was kind of my big wake up call into, nothing matters unless it brings you happiness. And if it's negative, eliminate it from your life, and just don't worry what other people think. Don't be judgmental. Just do you, and do what makes you happy. Seriously, make a valid attempt at doing what makes you happy, because it's whenever you're sitting there and your life's actually coming to an end, and you know that you tried, and if you actually succeeded, you'll be happy. And it's the way I see it. If I was back in my shoes where the doctors told me that I might have cancer, and I was doing the things I'm doing now, I'd say, you know what? If this is the end, I really tried. But I got really good news, because not too long ago, whenever I've been doing all this great stuff, I went back to the doctor and they told me that they are practically not even worried about what is in my hip now, and they think I am fine. So I got just this weight lifted off my shoulders, and this feels like a second chance, because I was just like pleading to the world and whatever is out there, that I was like, please, let me have a chance to do what I want to do. Let me just try, and I won't give up. So I feel like I just got a really good second chance, and I am not about to. I'm not about to quit, and I'm not about to mess it up. I'm going to at least try. That's my motivational speech on how I think you should stop giving a shit.